What's up, y'all? You are watching Fite Feed, and today I am giving an update on my UFC Pick Tracker spreadsheet, which if you guys have followed the previous videos, I am tracking the likes of not only my picks, but the picks of Tracy MMA, the picks of MMA Joey, and the picks of MMA Guru. So today's update is going to be the inclusion of the recent fight night card that happened in Kansas City with Ian Garry and Carlos Prates. At this point, the tracker has a total of 50 fights that we've tracked against. So I'm not only going to give you guys an update on who had the best picks for this specific fight card that just occurred, but then also give you the overall standings of the fight card or the fight tracker itself. And then finally, I will just dive in to the specifics of, looking at this last fight card, where each of us chose our picks and ultimately, where things went good or bad for each of us. So as I mentioned, to start off this video, we're going to go through the winner for the picks on the UFC Kansas City Fight Night card. And the winner is Fite Feed, baby. We got 12-2 correct on this fight card, so very happy with my results there. I did a lot of research for this one, so very happy to see that I got 12 out of the 14 fights correct. And I think the ones I got wrong were a bit of a toss-up, but we'll get through and we'll go through that. The next person on this was MMA Joey in second place with 11 correct, 3 incorrect. And then finally, third place, a tie between MMA Guru and Tracy MMA. Both had 10 correct with 4 incorrect. So now that we've gone through that, we can take a look at the overall standings between us creators. And taking a look at the overall standings, first place still, we've got MMA Joey with 39 correct, 11 incorrect. So 39 and 11 out of 50 and 78% correct overall. MMA Guru in second place, 37 correct, 13 incorrect with a 74% clip in terms of his correct versus incorrect. Next, we've got the third place, which is a tie between Tracy MMA and myself. We've got 33 correct with 17 incorrect, 66%. So I was able to make strides here. I was in last place every week, guys, and now that I had a solid week, I'm able to catch up to Tracy. So hopefully Fight Night Iowa comes and I can continue to rise in the rankings here, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of the standings, I will just take us through and take a look at how our picks went overall on the UFC Fight Night Kansas City Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates fight card, giving you guys the lowdown on kind of where each of us were either correct or incorrect. Going through the fight card, we got Edwards. All 4 of us picked Edwards to win, and that's exactly what happened. Fight number 2 on the card, this was actually one where I got this right. I will say I didn't get to record this because I made my picks much sooner than these guys did. And I was just, this week had to kind of go into Google and see what the actual new fights were and do my research that way. So hopefully in the future, I'll be able to get a new video out once that happens. But it can be very difficult. As you guys know, fights kind of fall apart and we have to do what we have to do. But in this fight, I had picked Kwamba on my end. I thought that his striking would be able to just outmatch Romero. The other guys chose Romero, so this is actually a really good pick for me on my side. And Kwamba, I didn't think Kwamba was going to get a finish. I thought that he would be able to get a decision just by outstriking. But it is what it is. He got a finish, so I'm happy about that. Next fight on the card, Jaqueline Amore versus Pauliana Viana. And in this fight, we saw, I think all 4 of us, that Amore was just going to be the better grappler and get the W, and that's exactly what happened. Next fight on the card, we all chose Wellmaker. I think that I was very happy with my prediction of Wellmaker getting landing a right hook KO, because that's just his standard way of finishing a fight. Very good timing on Malcolm Wellmaker, just able to catch his opponents off guard and knock them out, and that's what happened. So all 4 of us chose Wellmaker to win that. Next fight on the card, we got Blackshear versus Altanga. I can't say his last name. We all chose Blackshear. So most of us, like in this fight card, guys, like we were all pretty on point in terms of our early card picks. Next fight, same thing. Elder, all got that right. And I think that one was a bit of an easier pick given that I chose Elder when he was fighting Hassanzada, but then Hassanzada's a pedo and I think he's in prison now or in jail. And I stayed with Elder even with the Gage Young adjustment. I just felt he was going to be the better fighter, and that's what happened. Next fight on the card, though, we got Jimmy Flick versus Matt Schnell. All four of us chose Jimmy Flick, and Matt Schnell proved all four of us wrong. So good win for Matt Schnell there, giving us all an L there. And so that's my first L on the card, bringing the other guys to their second. Next fight on the card, all chose Aliskerov. No question there. Aliskerov went out there and closed it out pretty quickly. Next fight on the card, and this is where maybe I got a bit overzealous with my belief in Dalby, but you know what? I wasn't far off, guys, because this is where I said it's a bit of a toss-up. Dalby got hurt very quickly, but Dalby was able to knock Randy Brown down and then stagger him a couple times. So it's not like I was far out of left field picking Dalby, but the rest of the guys chose Brown to win. I didn't think he'd get finished. I didn't think Brown would get a finish, but Dalby was finished by first finish of his career in terms of a loss. So Brown did a very good job there. Next fight on the card, Abus Magomedov versus Michel Pereira. We all chose Abus to get the W here. I chose Magomedov. MMA Guru and MMA Joey chose Magomedov. Lucas chose Pereira. I think Lucas had said that he thinks Pereira would get a first round finish. I chose Magomedov. I already explained this to you guys in my picks and then also in my recap, but I thought Magomedov would just have the better gas tank. And although both of these guys gassed out, I think that was on display. Like Michel Pereira was gassed out from dancing into the octagon. So I think we all saw what happened there. Not a horrible pick from Lucas Tracy. Like Pereira is that type of fighter where he can fucking hurt anybody in that first round and put him out. You know, he beat Mikhail Oleszejczyk just by spamming body kicks and getting him out of there. So it's like, if he goes out there and is explosive and catches his opponent, he could put anyone out very quickly. But that's just not what happened on this past fight. Next fight, I'm super happy with this pick. So Lucas Tracy and I both chose Onama to get the W. Guru, Joey chose Chikadze. And honestly, like while I was watching this fight, I thought Chikadze would actually get the W watching the fight because I feel like he was tagging Onama just early on in the fight, was really, really dominating the striking exchanges. However, Onama was able to be a bit of a craftier MMA guy, get him to the ground, mix it up a bit. Also hurt Giga a few times on the feet, which I thought, looking at their stats and size, I thought Onama would be a lot bigger than Giga, and I was wrong. Giga looked not only taller, but just more filled out. But ultimately, Onama still was able to catch him on the chin and rock him a bit. Chikadze did miss weight too, so that doesn't help his case. Yeah, Onama gets 20%. Anyways, jumping down to the next one, Ming Yang versus Smith. We all chose Ming Yang. I think that Anthony Smith, although lots of respect from me at least for Anthony Smith, I just think that his recent showings did not sell a win here for me. Like, I just didn't think he'd be able to close it out. I thought Ming Yang would just be a bit too much for him, and that's exactly what happened. And we were all correct in that regard. Final fight on the card, Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates. We all know how this fight turned out. Ian Gary outclassed on the feet. He outclassed Prates on the feet. Prates had a really solid round 4 and 5. But Ian Gary just, first 15 minutes, he really was just, it was almost like he was fighting a fucking punching bag out there. With that said, Guru and Tracy chose Prates to win. In this case, guys, this is where, like, with predictions, for me, I always call out, like, here's my prediction of who's going to win. Here's who I want to win. I have to separate it myself because there's times where I want someone, like I wanted Anthony Smith to win, guys. Like I wanted to see him go out on top, but I didn't think he would. And it's the same thing. I didn't want to see Ian Gary win, but I thought that he would. And I think that in this case, like Prates has been good, but like Ian Gary, my opinion, I did not think Ian Gary was going to go out and outstrike Carlos Prates. So I'm not going to sit here and like say that I saw that coming. What I said is I think this is going to be a lay and pray fest, boring ass wrestling match. Ian Gary lays on Prates for 5 rounds. Pratez had great takedown defense, though. Ian Gary did not do that. Ian Gary was tagging him and actually winning in the striking exchanges the entire fight until rounds 4 and 5. So I was wrong in that regard, but I did pick Ian Gary to win this fight, and so did MMA Joey. I can see why others picked Pratez. I just didn't think Pratez would be able to, I just think Ian Gary's too big of a guy where it's although Pratez could kind of shake off those takedowns, Ian Gary is just was a lot bigger, but also faster than Pratez. So, Pratez could have closed it out. He had a chance and he didn't do it. And I'm not going to forget the first 15 minutes where Ian Gary was using him like a punching bag. So ultimately, I thought it was a fun fight. I just think that Carlos Pratez fumbled the bag. He had a W, guys. He could have closed it out with some more solid ground and pound. He could have really put Ian Gary out cold. But that's not what happened. Ian Gary was able to shimmy his way out of there, the danger in those late rounds, and, secure the win. And good for him. Came in short notice. In true short notice, I'm not going to be a hater. It was short notice for both guys. Pratez had a full camp. Ian Gary didn't. And that's where it's we have to draw a little bit of a line there and give some more respect to Ian Gary, that he was able to get out there, take out the likes of Carlos Pratez, who's been a marauder in this welterweight division. So there you have it. Those are my updates on this pick tracker. Make sure you stay tuned for the next update after UFC Fight Night Iowa. Please also go watch my full picks for the UFC Fight Night Iowa card. I've already got them up. Let me know what you guys thought of this fight card. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe to Fight Feed for all of my MMA content that will be coming out. Thanks again. I will see you guys in the next one.